there, Mr. Owen. Would you like a cookie?
I think I'm fine for now.
You sound very different tonight.
Well, I'm about to have a very frank discussion in the morning.
About what?
I will wait until morning.
Very well. You see a little bit, you see Rayan's eye twitch a little bit in frustration. I thought about what you said last time we spoke. Actions over words. I have to say that I'm a little frustrated at your proposal. Your god has been around your entire life, whispering his honeyed lies to you. We have had barely under an hour to get to know each other. I feel like I am at an incredible disadvantage. The safety of all Alatastica is at stake, and I feel I'm unable to compete to convince you of the right thing to do. All I have are words, and we're running out of time.
And
doesn't that mean anything to you? That something horrible is about to happen?
I would have thought that you'd know horrible things happen to us on a near regular basis. To us, around us, making us want to have done things differently, swearing that we'll be better next time. It's just part of our lives.
Those are terrible things. Yes. But what about something catastrophic? Something catastrophic for all surface races. I fear they will all die, and your trickster god is content to sit on his laurels fretting over his lost assassins.
You know, the last time there was a world-threatening catastrophe where all surface races were in grave danger because a horde of demons appeared in our realm. I seem to recall that many deities, including my own, came to us and gave us the tools to combat it.
Yes, but this next time, they can't.
And
or won't.
They seem to trust us enough to save the world from that catastrophe.
And I'm going to tell you now, it's not going to work. I've seen Ravis's plans. They are already set in motion and will surely succeed. And I am just wondering how many more pointless deaths need to happen. I want to prevent as much needless death as possible, and I am begging and pleading for you to see reason. People need not die or suffer, and all you have to do is use your powers in service of a greater good, because that is a cause that is more important than whatever that lazy, apathetic trickster wants from you.
If you're so certain that Ravis's plans have grave intentions, for our world. And you are aware of said plans. What's stopping you from tripping them up?
I cannot trip them up. But these plans need not go through if everyone does one simple thing.
Now you're sounding much more like the very deity you are telling me not to trust.
No, because I'm going to tell you the answers. I'm going to be upfront. What you need to do, what all of you need to do, is surrender. What's the matter, Owen? Cheshire Cat got your tongue?
Just thinking about your motivations, that's all.
What is more righteous? Fighting against a foe and causing so much bloodshed and death, knowing you cannot defeat them, or surrendering against said foe and preventing so much needless and pointless suffering?
Sounds like you want me to give up my freedom to have any effect on the world.
As I have said before, and I am a little irritated that you did not listen the first time, it is through service that we are free. By filling a role you're supposed to fulfill, you become free. Do I need to go back to the slave to the bottle analogy?
You are asking me to trade one master for another. No man can serve two masters.
You see Rayan's face just harden. Then the world of the dreamscape becomes darker and colder, as if Rayan's very presence is drawing the light and warmth from the room. You look at Rayan and his skin just now seems gaunt and pale, with a look of disapproval transformed into one of ice-cold fury. You are one of the most arrogant, selfish. All of a sudden, Rayan's body is picked up and turned to stone before crumbling to dust. And when the dust clears and the light and the area brightens up, you see a familiar face. Ugh, thought he'd never shut up.
Welcome. What brings you here?
You thought you were the only one who could see into dreams. Bloody hell, he was right about one thing. You are one arrogant sop. He just sits down. Our family could always do this. Ooh, is that tea? He just takes a sip.
So, what can I do for you?
Usually in this sort of situation, one is accustomed to hearing the phrase, thank you.
Well then, my thanks to you, good sir.
Yeah, he looks at you and he actually looks a little hurt at that. Borgren. I've had a lot of time to think this past decade. Before then, before all of this happened 12 years ago, even though I drunk myself into a stupor every day, he looks at you with like misty eyes. I still cared. You were the last thing of your mother, and I never wanted you to die. For all of your life, I always watched you in my dreams. I could sleep soundly knowing you were always alive every night. And yes, I saw every time you messed with your friends. Why did you even do that anyway?
Oh, goodness. Back then, I had a number of different motivations, few of them good. I honestly felt like I wanted to get to know each of them. I wanted to strengthen each of them. I wanted to feel as though I had some measure of control. In some ways, it did yield good results. Amber and Ivan found their first comfort with one another because of one of my dreams. That's something I never really could have seen coming. But it was an unintentional consequence, and I cannot use that to justify everything I've done.
I guess we're both not proud of things that we've done. My point is, when you went down into Bator, I couldn't see you anymore. I thought the worst, and I almost did the unthinkable. But some elf god talked me out of it. I thought I was going crazy. But we talked, and for the past 10 years, we just talked. He helped me kick my drinking habit, and I've been mostly successful, but all the pain just comes back on that day. I really am trying. It's just. He steps up from the chair and he just stands in front of you. I know I haven't been good to you, and there is nothing I could say or do to undo the damage I have done. But after this war is finished, I'd like to try again, if you'll let me. I'll understand if you say no.
Well, you're sober now. And that means that you remember everything.
Yes.
And I guess that both of us are going to keep remembering everything for the rest of our lives. And if you need help to make that journey, then I am willing to stand with you.
You see a small quivering smile just appear on Verdoc's face, and his eyes just begin to leak. And then he just like bear hugs you. And he just starts sobbing in your shoulder and just like whispering, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." After about 3 minutes of this, he takes 2 step backs and just wipes his eyes. All right. I should get back to my duties. Be careful, Borgrin. Whoever was speaking to you, he's got it out for you. He wants you for something, and he's clever. Watch your back.
Take care then, Father.
You hear him give a small sniffle at that. All right.
Hey Josh,
Yes.
you know how you have a Rainbow Dash likability meter?
Yeah.
I think I've got one of those for Owen, and currently it's on the rise.
Aw. All right.
That was sweet.
All right. So it is now the next day. With
Oh, okay, so I can cast my spells
I
again.
think Ellie's dying.
Well,
Quickly go to the toilet.
Ellie, are you going to be up to having a discussion with Owen, or should I give you a few minutes?
You know, Doc.
That wasn't meant to be sarcastic.
That's what
but
makes it
it
funnier.
sounded like it.
I'm
That's what
sorry,
makes-
that wasn't meant to be.
I know, but that's what makes it funny. It's funny because it's true.
Actually, may I ask two questions, please?
Sure.
Oh no.
First of all, considering we are almost approaching we are nearly upon the 6-hour mark. How much time does everyone have?
Oh, I got plenty.
6 hour mark.
I got
We've
plenty
only
of
been
time.
recording for 4.
Oh, we have?
Yeah, because we
we started
started
at
at
six.
like 3 something.
I thought we started it. Yeah, never mind.
I do have to go somewhere tomorrow, but I think we can stay longer.
Okay, cool.
Also,
And the
I'm
second thing was,
fine,
just- I just
Doc,
wanted-
just for the record.
Also, I just wanted to
Very
quickly
good.
go to the toilet.
Okay.
See, we can have these emotional moments without that stupid mansion.
I still don't regret the spell! You will not shame me!
But Josh, that means you're never going to be free of people spending hours and hours role-playing in emotional things that makes you actually feel the need to keep going with them. Even if you get rid of the mansion, you're still never going to be free of it. You're welcome.
Congratulations, I played myself.
Yep.
Well,
All right. So,
if Faye, Rhyme, and Jalaram wish to join me,
Faye calls pizza back to her.
Oh, be right back. That's pizza.
Oh, pizza. Yeah.
John takes a deep breath and he's ready.
then let us go sit for a while.
Okay.
Where to? Oh, over here.
I suppose we're following him.
I do Uber Eats. I know the
Lark still there. Syria, come fetch your child.
all right. Oh yeah, forgot to do that.
Like, I've been here for 9 hours.
Yeah, that's fine. You can just call the store right now and do it, and that happens all the time. So many people have been doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think something's wrong with the website too.
Liz, you might want to mute.
Alright. She's not at her computer. She can't hear us.
Well, hopefully she'll be able to hear us soon enough, and then she'll mute.
Okay.
Now, ever since
I've returned.
Okay. Ever since our first battle with the Drow, we were very much being played against for our weaknesses. We had very little in the way of being able to match their abilities, and more specifically, their nullifying magics. I have been in divination with Oli Dumara over many a night before I fall asleep, seeking answers to this very dire set of circumstances, because it's only a matter of time before we face them again. No longer a question of if, it's only when. So, we needed a way to find an advantage again. But given their amulets that create fields of anti-magic, we must find a way to counter those. And through extensive questioning with Oli Demara, I believe I have a solution.
Oh? You mean you're actually going to share your plans with us for once?
Faye, let him talk.
I'm not the one who would be able to counter them. But you, Faye Thurin, can.
Faye raises her eyebrow.
There is one very specific spell that you are capable of learning that, if successful, could outright destroy every one of their anti-magic fields.
This sounds powerful. What's the catch? Magic that powerful doesn't come without a price.
The catch is that it will not work every time you cast it. There is always a fair-sized chance that it will fail to nullify their anti-magic fields. However, I believe there is a way that I can improve those chances. It is not a surefire counter, but I believe it may be the best option we have. And it will depend very much on you, Faye. I can find ways to improve your chances, but if you were successful, it would put us on a much more level playing field. Also, if you were to cast this spell on a magical artifact, there would be dire consequences for you personally. I do not know whether Ravis's specific necklace might be considered an artifact, but certainly any of the copies would not fall under that category.
Can
I
roll
suppose-
a knowledge arcana to see if I have any idea what he's talking about?
I imagine both Faethurin and Rhyme might be able to determine whether Ravis's necklace would be considered an artifact, because that is out of Owen's purview.
Is that a knowledge arcana? Knowledge.
That is knowledge arcana.
Wow, low roll.
Yeah. Well, you do recognize.
Whoa!
Well, Rhyme pulled a nerve in her brain.
She's still twitching, I think, over the fact that like they have anti-magic feels and she's salty.
Yeah.
If she were any saltier, I could grind her over French fries. Anyway.
God.
Anyways, from your Arcana tech, you do know that he is referring to the spell Mage's Disjunction.
I know the spell you're speaking of. I've read about it, but when I did read about it, it seemed far too dangerous for me to even consider learning it.
What type? Well, what type of spell are we talking about? This like a level 9, or is this 10 plus?
It is a level 9 spell, and should it backfire on me, I would lose my ability to cast spells permanently.
And no amount of miracles could undo it. However, this would only apply if she was using the disjunction on a magical artifact. And even then, depending on how lucky she is, or perhaps unlucky, she would still be able to hold on to her own magic. But it is not something that I can insist that you choose, that you take on, Faethurin. I'm not the one who would be taking that risk. However, I cannot think of any other way that we could counter their anti-magic fields. It is something that I will find a way to give you the best chances you can have through every available means. But I would not be the one taking on that burden. You would have to make that choice yourself.
Faye is just kind of staring at him. You're really serious. You're actually depending on someone else.
I'm sure that this is part of Olidamara's intention as well. And quite frankly, I think I agree with him. This does seem like not only our best option to counter their anti-magic, but also a great opportunity for us to learn to trust one another.
Magic is all I have. I won't deny that the idea of losing it terrifies me. Because if I do, I'll be useless. I won't be able to help anymore. But at the same time, it's a risk I'm willing to take.
Jalum turns to Phaethon. You sure? I mean, again, it's hefty.
The danger is pretty great under the wrong circumstances. But what it means is that I'll have to be very careful about how I use the spell.
Well, how much concentration will you need?
No more than I'm capable of. You know me. Once I'm focused, I stay focused.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, that is true. I mean, if you're willing. It's just... There's a lot of things that I'm contemplating right now, and... Actually, funny thing, there is one thing that I was considering if... Okay, it should not be if. When Robus joins the battle. There's something that I was considering, and I'd like to make this proposal to you, Owen.
Do tell.
All right, I'm going to whisper this to not just the DM, but also to Owens, because this is a big thing that I want to do. Okay, that is to Owen, and then I'll do that to... He won't see it coming.
Cue music.
Okay.
Whenever Josh makes that noise, I get very, very frightened.
He won't see it coming. It's something that you wouldn't expect. By the way, I'm only showing on because Ellie, you're streaming, so I can't. So
then send it over Skype.
Okay.
No, I need context. I missed this whole meeting because there was a order problem with my pizza.
Okay, short summation. Owen was meditating and divining with Olimara, and now he's actually offering forth his plans for the first time ever, and it relies on somebody that's not him.
Character growth.
It's something you won't see coming, but we need to save it for the final battle.
If you are willing to trust me, Jalarum, Owen puts forth his hand.
I'm all for it, but not today. Jalum extends his hand as a handshake, but doesn't do the thing. Not until the final battle. Remember.
Very well.
Me, brother.
Okay, bring on the bad luck.
Oh, look at that. There's stairs right outside.
Jal, take the elevator.
Sure, just go forward in time 3,000 years.
Yeah, I'll invent the elevator for you so you don't have to use the stairs.
Actually, there were very, very simple, like lever and pulley medieval elevators.
Shay?
Yes?
Can you not be
I'm just saying.
technical, please?
It's not even overly technical, it's just a fact. Learn the difference.
Okay.
I will leave it up to Faye and you, Rhyme, to determine through your own studies whether Ravus's necklace might trigger the negative consequences of this very potent spell. And do let me know of your findings.
Of course.
Did we have anything else before we rejoin the group?
What are your thoughts on Karsus's avatar? Do you think do you think he has plans? And do you think he has plans for Ryan?
I really don't know. That's something we're all going to have to consider for the future.
Owen?
Yes?
Thank you for actually trusting us for once.
One is glad to be of service.
Okay, you know what, dude?
Yeah, okay, hi.
Okay, pushing it.
To be fair, at least he didn't say it's good to be helping.
No, so I had to go for something kind of similar, but not really.
Oh, Owen, that'll never catch on.
All right, we exit.
Okay.
So Ivan and Amber been standing out, not hearing this plan the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
We're still here, by the way.
we're the misfits. Amber's kind of just, she has her head like heavily plopped on Ivan. I don't know how he's supporting it.
I've told everyone important about my plan. Wait, we didn't hear it. Everyone important.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Better.
John's looking at the stairs.
After you, my love.
Will you take his hand already?
All hands.
Faye
Alrighty.
grips his hand.
All right.
Before you as you step down the stairs, a guard walks right into you, Jalaram. Boof!
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Another parcel came for Lady Faith Urin.
Wait, another one? Wait, hang on. You already... When'd you get a first one?
Oh, I forgot to mention. That was where that dress came from. And and those books that were on the table yesterday.
Oh.
I assume
Okay.
this one has been screwed as well?
Yes. He hands you the sack and gives a quick soldier salute and then walks back off.
May I take a look at these?
Feel free.
All
So
right.
So what are these
So-
ones?
So you open the book, and you open the sack, and it's another very nice, extravagant dress. It's also got a lot of very nice smelling herbs and oils in bottles. Like this would cost Noble a small fortune.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a knowledge nobility. Just to see if I could glean any sort of knowledge, given what I remember about nobility from Solania. Given this is all like elven stuff.
Yes. This is some sort. Yes. You have smelled and seen these oils before amongst the Lefether nobility.
Who is trying to blackmail you or butter you up?
This is from home? Wait a moment. These are... Hold on, I need to contact... But do I contact my mother? Do I contact my uncle? What is this?
May I? I've had some dealings with the Lefither, the nobility.
I'm talking of my family, Rhyme. I don't think that your dealings with them will be much more capable of gleaming information from them than my blood relation.
And when was the last time you spent extended periods of time with them?
Face falls.
I go there as a court singer. I've been their guest. May I just look?
The Fae just kind of quietly hands over the bag.
All right. The hands over the bag. There's also a note in there.
Gather information. What do I do? Checky. What do I checky? Checky.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just
there we
read the
go.
note.
I meant about the bag, but okay. Dear Lady Faither and Helegalor, despite how you spat in my face last time, we still wish to help you. A little birdie told me that Helegalor has caused you so much grief as a child. As my generous gift, I will pay your torment unto them 1,000-fold. They will beg me to kill them. If you wish to watch, I invite you to come and see for yourself. I shall be at House Helegalor, eagerly awaiting you. The mere 2 requirements of your visit. First is to return Jewel Vryn. Her family misses her dearly. I'm sure you can empathize with such a thing. Also, I do hope young Jewel isn't giving you much trouble. That girl was so unruly before I taught her how to behave. She's better for it now, but she does have a few old habits. I'll have to work on those at some point. And the second, come alone. If you do not follow this simple request, I may have to punish you, and it will not only be you that pays the price. Warmest care, Dr. Elvana Kilveer.
Faye steps back and she trips down the stairs.
Do I have your permission to burn these?
Faye fell down the stairs. She's not standing in front of you anymore.
I know.
Yeah, Jaminia actually moves from the desk. So, Faye Thurin, are you okay?
I'm back.
So, burning, Jalrum?
Oh, jeez. Faye, are you okay? What happened?
Elvana is playing mind games with her. She wants Jewel back. Rhyme pulls the frog paperweight out of her front pocket. And she wants Faye to come alone to watch a torture session of her old family.
God.
Mother,
Amber
Uncle
spats.
Arthur.
I'm the one who had that before.
No,
if anyone
you
should be
didn't.
threatening her, it's me!
Not even Corwell deserves what that woman would do. I can't let her do to them what she did to me.
What do we do?
I can't. Faye is falling into a panic attack.
Amber hugs Faye.
Ivan,
She's not going alone,
Yep.
that's for sure.
Jalm holds her to...
The second we come up with a plan, we're going together.
I have to go to Lefither. I can't allow her to hurt them. I left my family alone for so long. I turned my back on them, but they're still my family. I can't. I can't let them be hurt.
And we won't.
They won't have to get hurt.
the question is, would my disguise be already compromised? The question is, what exactly could we use to avoid all of this? We don't have any weaknesses of hers. She knows...
She's a magic user.
Yes, but so are we. You turn on that anti-magic amulet, it's not like Fairthorn and I could do anything.
Elvana is clever. She is at least as intelligent as I.
And that means she already surpasses me. I hate to say it, but we really need to go for the jugular on her. What is her weakness? That's what we need to know.
She's sensitive to light.
She is fanatical about Ravis.
What turns off a fanatic?
The truth.
You'd be surprised. If you recall, the reason we are still outwardly at war with Sabaton is because his people...
No, the war was ended.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, remember, well, then why was he making such a big deal about public opinion, huh?
Because nobles.
Yeah.
Wait, when was this?
He was like, I believe you, but the common people won't want us...
That was before Dominia emerged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I was
I'm
gonna
just-
say.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And before both sides stopped fighting to help each other not get burnt alive in a fire.
Then, Jalaran, we have found quite an interesting truth, wouldn't you agree?
That is true.
Fairthorn.
Oh, you mean you're regarding Sorn, aren't you?
No.
Oh.
I was talking about Nion. About how Ravis is actually worse than the matriarchs.
That works.
What?
If Ravis is guilt by association, sins of the father. In fact, it's a miracle that Elvana is part of his little band of troops. In fact, if she wasn't so gifted, she probably would be spat on by him. You recall those bards that came to save us from the Tarask?
Yep.
Yes?
They are also outcasts of the Drow society, cast out by Ravis himself. They were in hiding from the matriarchs, and when Loth was destroyed, they thought it would be safe to come out of hiding. It wasn't. Ravis slaughtered their families and went after them because they were different. They didn't want to worship the same god, although technically they don't have a god at the moment. They wanted use of the outside world, association with the quote-unquote lesser races or lesser gods. One wrong move, and he slaughtered them. Slaughtered them all, and they're his own people. Would that matter to Elvana?
I don't know. Her sister.
She has a sister?
I'm assuming.
Thanks to the matriarchs. But perhaps finding out what Ravis would have done to her sister. She failed one of Loth's games, was turned into a drider. She surrendered to the matriarchs, and they slew her.
Well, that sounds a little bit like some of the drow that we met. I don't exactly know all of their stories. But they don't follow Loth. They follow Alastrae. And for that, he hunts them down.
It's because they worship a god.
Exactly.
Ravis hates the gods.
And yet he's working with one. Isn't that interesting? Wonder what Elvana would think of that.
Oh. That gives me an interesting idea. Well. Oh.
She still wants me to come alone. And I can't assume that my veil spell would fool her.
Of course not.
If you want us to come invisible and in silence, I could do something.
Nah, it won't work.
Won't work.
I'm
Whoa.
capable of detecting your spells, and she's at least as powerful as I am.
You're right.
But what about this? Amber taps her amulet and turns into a rat.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
Would she be able to detect that she's not fully a rat?
I don't see how. This is a bodily transformation.
And her is not the only way.
If I did not know this was Amber, this would just be someone's cute pet rat with a little jewel.
Yeah, Amber scurries up Faye's leg and onto her shoulder.
Perhaps in her hair. Oh, and Father Lightbringer, you said something?
I recall there was a time when I turned Jalarum into a tiny pebble. Not meant to be a joke, but just hear me.
I know, but the memory is so funny. That was out of character anyway.
There are ways that I could hide people within Faethurin's pockets.
Excuse me.
Your excuse.
However, if there was ever danger, then the spell would need to be dismissed. And Faethurin would have to be the one to dismiss it because she'd be the only one who isn't turned into something tiny.
Not quite the case. If one of us, both you or I also know the spell. If one of us stood off somewhere far away, or at least far enough, either Tantamile or Lucid could alert us when Faethurin would want the spell deactivated.
Or to be simpler, I could carry the anti-magic amulet myself.
Oh yeah.
That would be exceptionally simple, yes.
Jalum takes off his amulet and places it on Faethurin.
It's not active, is it?
No.
No.
Okay,
it's
good.
not that.
Otherwise, there'd be a problem.
Squeak, squeak.
Also, may I ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Ryan give the jewel statue to the Sabaton guards? I was sure she'd done that.
No, she tucked it in her pocket when we were all in the tavern.
Jewels in my boobs. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Jewels in my boobs, everybody.
Quote of the day.
It's right next to Asmodeus' ring.
I hear that would make a lovely accessory.
So I think we have a plan.
We do have a plan.
Who's up for fried frog's legs?
Fried frog's legs.
I'm afraid the meat on that one would be a little tough.
Oof.
And perhaps a little overdone.
Is she even still alive? I mean, the last time someone was petrified for a long time.
Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't the whole point of this not to kill Jules so you could use it for information?
Yeah, Faye's face kind of falls. No,
No.
Rhyme just wants her dead.
No, the whole point was her not getting back into their hands because they keep resurrecting that witch.
And keeping her in rock is the best thing at the moment.
Keeping her within my arm's reach is the best thing for my peace of mind. One less thing they can use against us. One less.
Yes.
Marina always was a little tree.
Guys, I had an audio malfunction, and since I'm recording, that meant whatever you said after after you were talking about resurrecting that thing, I didn't hear it, so you're gonna have to rewind.
Basically, I said like the one less person fighting us, the better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Amber's trying to say something and squeaking and hopping down.
Yeah, Amber. Yeah, exactly. I love that. Thank you. Amber scurries over to Rhyme, and you're holding the rock, right? The stone.
Oh no, it's in it. Like I said, it's in my front chest pocket.
Okay, well, Amber grab it and then tries to mimic it.
Mimic it?
Okay, Amber's trying to do sign language now.
Amber, save yourself a lot of trouble and
statue
turn
that
back.
points at herself and then pretends to be the rock.
I got a rock.
Okay,
So-
Amber transforms back.
Oh, okay. So basically, she's the statue.
No. Okay. Oh, that's much better. I forgot you can't understand rat. Decoy.
Yeah.
A decoy.
Why do we have to bring that real one with us? It's too risky.
True. But I don't exactly know how to copy.
Amber looks to Ivan.
Hang on a minute. I think I might be able to help here. Does this apply to other objects too? Hang on a minute. Hey, does mislead only apply to me?
What?
Hey, DM.
Spell?
Yes.
It only applies to me?
What only applies to you?
The spell mislead? If I can create a copy of myself, can I create a copy of other things too?
Yeah, it only creates a copy of you.
Dang it.
Okay, this Amber looks around at all of you. None of you know how to craft something? Do I?
I can repair things, but I'm not the best at crafting them.
Nope.
Rhyme
I
looks
only
at
know how to mix potions.
Rhyme looks
Well,
over at the dwarf who's lived under a mountain.
Is he a king?
There is logic in what she says.
Really? No one? Okay.
I understood what it is.
Amber bites her tongue. I can always go to a craftsman in the village and pay for a duplicate.
That could work.
That's possible.
How long would that even take?
Amber holds out her claw. Let me try.
I'm going with you. I'm not letting this thing out of my sight.
Fair enough. Amber picks up Rhyme.
So we're doing this again. Okie dokie.
You know how to ride.
It's a lot.
Horses.
It's easier when you get used to it. Trust me.
Horses, not dragons.
Okay, then Amber picks up Ivan. I'll be back as fast as I can.
I'm coming, jeez.
Yeah, no, Amber's got you both, and she's basically walking out to the nearest window and flying out.
I guess we're on our way.
We'll be back soon. Tantamile, stay here.
Faye just kind of watches that.
Bye, kitty.
When did she adopt Rhyme?
Huh?
She only behaves that way with she's basically adopted into her horde.
I don't know. Maybe it was during the virtual replay with Ravis.
All right then.
What is this?
Give
We
me
have-
something. Dang it! I'm doing something.
It's
Everybody's
weird.
talking and making plans and whatnot. I'm like, okay, I gotta insert something in here. Give me something to do. Okay, I'm doing it.
I gotta be important.
Doing it.
I mean, it works. It's a smart plan.
We
I
doing
did
it.
a smart.
That way, I mean, honestly, it works that way. Brime doesn't have to be in there with when the anti-magic field things comes off, and that way, Jules' anti-magic doesn't come off. You know, so I mean,
Exactly.
It works.
Okay. That's